Kyle on some Dead Snow. Playing against some Blue Moon. We'll see how this goes. Now, I know Kyle does have a lot of basics. So,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
it does indeed.
He has a shit ton of recursive creatures, I hope. I would assume. Unless he went dicking around with this thing. So, yeah, it should be not too bad. I mean, Matt doesn't have a whole lot of exile effects. There should be some game there. Trying some new things with the layout here. Trying to see what works. I think we can squeak everything in there if we try. Alright, so. Oh, it's been a week, man. It's good to get in here. Good to see some cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt's leading with the usual.
So, Blue Moon or Dead Snow? Who do you like here?
Probably Blue Moon, but I mean, with the right recursive creatures, Kyle could really could get there. And so,
Kyle
all right,
has some creatures that are hard for Matt to deal with.
Blood Moon doesn't stop things from being snow,
It does
right?
not, no, it
Okay,
does not.
cool. So if you get to Blood Moon down, can still recur the Narfi
Yeah.
as much as he wants to.
Kyle, you're touching water your grave. He might come to regret that decision.
Yeah. Maybe. He's got some time, though,
Yeah.
so we'll see.
Kyle historically has been playing some terrible counter spells in his main too, like the one that only hits instants and sorceries and then takes all the copies.
Is that in his main?
It was in his main for a
Yeah.
while. I assume it still is.
It might be.
Overvalued.
I actually do think that in the right deck, I think that's a pretty decent
I don't think it's the
sideboard
right
card.
deck. I think it's if you expect a lot of living in, maybe it's fine. I don't think it's a main deck card.
It's not a main deck card at all, no. I'm saying it's a decent sideboard card
Yeah,
in the right deck.
yeah.
It's not...
For specifically living in, I guess,
Yeah.
maybe other combo decks. But
Alright, so that's a pretty annoying card. The old Stitcher Supplier. Something you never really want to have to kill. Alrighty.
we got look at some hands.
Yeah. Alright, so Matt's sitting on Snap, Lands, Bolt. Just click it and drag. Nope, nope. Click again. There you go. You don't. I had it at a pretty decent. There you go. Man, you're fucking my setup up all kinds of ways.
Dude, I can't see. Like, you do it. Like seriously, what we were supposed to see was barely on the screen.
I know. So, you know what we can do? Oh, I didn't do anything. That's cool. Okay, those cameras suck. They don't pan or tilt. They don't pan or tilt.
Right,
So what I need to see, I just need to see. Yeah, we'll figure that in between rounds. Have somebody test. All right.
Anyway, enough playing.
Oh, Matt.
Matt showing some flavor.
Yeah, he's on pure flavor tonight.
I mean, it's a blue. I don't know how much flavor can possibly
Right.
have.
Yeah, figurative flavor,
Yeah,
not
or
literal flavor.
coriander and orange peel, I guess. Are the two.
Very figurative flavor. I mean, it's flavorful to some people that have never drank flavorful things.
Yeah.
Actually,
Some
I
people
mean,
drink water their whole lives.
well, this is not very engaging Magic at the moment.
No.
Things died. We missed it because we were checking shit out. But you know,
I was gonna hard cast the guy that you should probably never hard cast. You gonna counter that?
that is
It's a
Weird.
aggressive Counter. I guess you
Yeah.
gotta use your cards.
yeah. So in hindsight, that was decent.
I worry about the Narfi for Matt just because I don't.
He doesn't have a good way to deal with it, really.
He has no good way to deal with it. He has no permanent way to deal with it.
Yeah, that is the problem with not white. And I guess black too. Black has exile now. But,
Not really. I mean, not.
Not well. Nobody.
They
not
make-
anything
they
that's
make
played.
Exile spells, but like.
None of them are good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like 4 mana. You can't 4 mana on somebody.
So yeah, that was a good lead for Kyle playing that because it. Okay, so now Kyle's fucked for a minute because he didn't think about.
For game 1. Basically.
No, he's got an island. All right, all right. He
Is that all he's
could.
got?
Yeah,
Well, that's exactly what he doesn't.
I know.
He's got 2 islands.
Yeah. Let's just start, man. I'm just trying to see the silver linings here.
Imagine
He's
that
got a
Testing
basic.
Counts was just counterspell. He'd actually have a spell. I mean, he doesn't.
He doesn't have a hand, yeah. Now he should have got that. Yeah. It's going to be pretty rough, but he's plucky, so I don't think he's going to. Yeah, it's pretty damning. Really now he's just I don't even know. Get to a Narfi and discard a hand size. Ha ha, fucker.
I mean, does he have 3 snow?
Actually, no, he got a watery grave and I can't see
He's got a little bit of glare on his
Yeah.
side.
he's got a well, he can now. Reanimate it. He can't cast it.
So you just got to do your plan, or you discard, or
Discards a hand size.
yeah. Is Nerfy a blue and a black? Does he even have Nerfy?
No, I'm just saying no. No. I'm just saying he has to draw it first. That's the plan, is to draw it and then discard a hand size. So, it's a pretty bad plan, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But he's not doing anything else. He's just waiting on
I
that
hate his
swamp.
mana base.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
a lot.
he should have... What was the fetch that got the grave? That's what I don't... We're still dicking with
Yeah.
this setup. If that was... Well, what sucks about his mana base, if he didn't actually have a Puddle to Delta and he had like a Flooded Strand or something, because then he just was fucked out the gate.
This, I mean, I get that they're expensive and they're cost considerations, but with this mana, like with this deck, with the speed of it,
Yeah, you need the right lands.
I guess he has to have snow lands, so that makes it awkward.
Snowlands are a bit awkward.
They are
He just
awkward.
needs... Well, and that's what makes the appropriate fetches super, super important.
I was about to say I would want fast lands, but that doesn't really help you with the snow.
No.
They need to make snow fast lands.
Yeah. That would be good. It wouldn't hurt anything by any means. Oh yeah, he's so dead. This is a game 2 scenario. But you know, again, he's a plucky guy, this Kyle Hood, so he's gonna force himself to
The
get
guy can
murdered.
only take so much.
Okay, there we go. He's not as plucky as I thought.
Main deck, Liliana Lasso, but you would not think that's a. I don't even really think it's a playable modern card right now.
He likes it. He's always had it in there.
Yeah, it's always been trash. I've never seen it kill anything or do anything.
It doesn't, yeah, anymore. It's pretty.
I feel like every time I've seen it in his hand, he's lost that game.
Yeah. Well, there are other things that he could. I think there are other walkers that. I mean, they're still kind of dicey, but more playable than that than mill. I know why it's in there. It's there for the mill and shit. Maybe for flavor too, I guess.
You know what would be better is the ninja one.
Oh yeah,
Because you can draw and then discard the cards
Yeah.
that you actually give a shit about. Like,
the
that seems
ninja
way
would be
better.
way better. Yeah. Yeah, for his curve especially.
Kaito, is that his name?
Kaito, yep.
Kaito.
Shizuki.
So, saw a really trippy ass movie in the theater, John Brown.
Yeah.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah.
The movie's insane, absolutely insane. It's probably the most original movie I've ever seen before.
Nice. So I actually. Well, you always lean super into it.
I've moved it over time.
You do. We found a super cool, super trippy stop motion on Shudder last night. It was pretty sweet too. would have been a good one for. All right, now that we've got this up, I'm
I
gonna
also
make.
saw the Sam Raimi.
Yeah, was that any good?
I mean,
It was marvelly, I'm
it
sure.
was very marvelly.
Was it how Sam Raimi versus how marvelly?
It had its moments where it was undeniably Sam Raimi, but there was
Shit.
one scene in particular that had a real like kind of Evil Dead Army of Darkness feel to it.
Right.
There is a Bruce Campbell cameo.
Yeah, I heard that.
But if I was a betting man, I'm going to say that you probably won't love it.
Yeah. It's fair enough. Oh, I gotta do some adjustment with these cameras. I think they've shifted over
Probably
time.
on Kyle's side, because we're not going to be able to see his hands all the way to the left.
Yeah, we used to be able to. I don't know what happened. I think they've been just bumped over time. Slightly. And that is what's posing the problem here. Indeed. Wish I could just trim this frame. So annoying. Why can't I? Can't do it here. There's no panning or tilting. Nope, no panning. No panning. Indeed. Indeed. You'll have to look for that movie though. That sounds interesting. I'm always down for trippy movies. Keep moving that too. I fucked this up, sorry.
It was like the acid trip version of The Matrix.
Yeah.
Is how I would describe it.
So yeah, this heat was fucking killer. I don't know outside of Indiana how terrible it was, but in Indiana it was pretty fucking awful.
The what?
The heat.
Oh yeah, it's not great.
Down south was even worse when I was down there. That was fucking
I bet.
super awful.
Everything down south is worse.
Yeah. The scenery's better. That's much better. The scenery's actually fucking pretty legit. Into a super hillbilly brewery. It was nice. I mean, it was a nice environment, but it was very. I mean, it was in like the hills. You know.
Some of the best ones are.
Yeah, no, it was a nice spot. I liked it.
Passage in the cards, it's not really
Yeah, that's just because of budget. That's a budget constraint there. Is what that is.
budget constraint. It does get a snowland.
That is true. Hopefully he got a swamp. I really, really hope. I hope he landed. Yeah, he did. Okay, it's good.
If you're mad, are you fucking with blood moons after? I mean, Matt is. But if I was the one playing. as
Yeah,
dead,
I mean,
I think I would not. really
In this
like
match, it's not that big of a deal because obviously Kyle has a bajillion islands, so he's not
Also-
going to be off of that color.
Less of a big deal once your opponent.
Knows what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
The
yeah,
jig is up.
for sure. Yeah, in a match like this where it's not just utterly crushing, it's just kind of, yeah, it's just kind of
I
whatever.
hate how Kyle plays so many of these extra paid. Like, why is extra paid?
I don't
That
know.
doesn't seem like a very good card.
Seems like a sideboard card.
Not in this matchup.
No.
I mean,
I'm just
I
saying,
guess,
man, I'm just
I guess
saying.
you could extirpate this Misty Rainforest here. That'll show him. Or this lightning bolt.
I hope it comes in clutch somehow. Hey, man.
It doesn't affect anything.
I'm trying to be-
I guess it can nab a Snapcaster.
Trying to be positive, man. Trying to be positive here. All right, Grave Crawler. That's a good
The
card.
best thing it can do is nab a Snapcaster target, but it's unlikely since Kyle's deck does not play instant speed and he's tapping out on his own turn.
So the one
And
thing,
apparently doesn't play any swamps, despite the fact that there are no blue cards in his deck.
there is definitely a strange tilt towards blue for some reason that does not seem to be.
It doesn't seem necessary at all. Right?
No,
Like, I think
no.
we just cut the blue altogether.
I mean, you need the blue for. I think you don't cut the blue. You just don't have a bajillion islands. You You just switch your number of islands and swamps.
It's all one.
yeah, exactly. That is what you do. The blue stuff is, it is mostly black, but I mean, there is some blue, and the blue stuff that he has is good and important. He just needs more swamps. I think that's really the takeaway here. Just needs a number, probably a lot, more swamps. All right, Matt's doing some considering.
More considering. That's an engineered explosives, and he wanted it for some reason. I guess to deal with the grave crawler.
He must not have anything else.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can see with our shitty hand cams.
Sometimes.
Snap, fire ice,
Oh,
fury.
That Snapcaster mage is going to totally get got with that extra bait.
No, it's not, because he doesn't have enough black mana to hold it up. He's gonna have to play a real card here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's not really getting somebody. If he plays Snapcaster Mage targeting like Lightning Bolt, and you're like, in response, I extirpate your Lightning Bolt. You paid a card, he still has his card. You just like spin a card to make it to where he doesn't get a little bit of value.
I still feel it's pretty weird for Matt to counterspell the guy that comes out of the graveyard.
That is a little strange.
Now, he has not yet come out of the graveyard. So, I mean, that is a thing.
Maybe Matt knew what was going on the whole time.
Well, at this point, it's just tempo.
So he can bring it back this turn, right? So, assuming that Matt doesn't counter everything here, he can play.
Okay, never mind. He chose not to. He could have.
Wow. Setting up to make this E a real card.
Yep. Man, that carry-on feeder would have been such a better play there.
Yeah, it would have. Carry-on feeder would have got back a 3/3.
Well, he doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough swamps. He still, again, has all islands and one swamp.
Jesus Christ, this mana bait. Kyle, I haven't seen a single blue card in your deck. A single blue card. You need to fix this immediately. There should not be 3 islands in your deck.
Snap or snap.
There could be one, and I think that you can make an argument that there shouldn't be.
Probably, yeah. I mean, with the discard outlets, all he has to do is pitch the Narfi, and he should have those. So, which actually we haven't seen that many of those either. So, some things are amiss. Shuffle, shuffle. Matt's gonna get his Snapcaster beats on. Although he's probably just gonna hardcast his Fury because Kyle doesn't really have any good way to. He doesn't have anything to say about that. Unless he gets the bone shards. Does he have a bone shards? He might have a. He might have a bone shards in hand actually right now.
Look at that. That's a fucking thought scour for you. Getting a memory deluge in the graveyard.
Oh, animal.
Kyle on the old 1 spell per turn thing, and only 1 drops.
Oh, there is no memory deluge now.
I'm kind of pissed at Kyle's deck right now. I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of pissing me off a little bit, John.
Well, we've had good showings from his deck too. I think.
know, but like this
he's
island thing has been a problem for a while, right? Oh,
it has.
He gets 1 spell a turn, and he's decided to get a memory deluge out of the graveyard that's not going to be castable for another probably 4 turns. And I'm sure there's only 1 in the deck.
There might be 2.
Well, Matt doesn't really want to draw the second one either, so.
Is there one?
I don't think so. It seems like a 1 of. Yeah, that might have been a problem here in 5 turns after you're already dead. Since you're only playing 1 spell a turn with all your islands and 1 drops. God damn it, Kyle. God damn it.
Kyle, we love you. We want to see you fix this
I
problem.
don't love this. I don't love what I'm seeing here. Both games lost to no swamps in your mono black deck. It is a mono black deck.
I mean, it is at heart, yeah.
It is 100% a mono black deck.
Blue for sideboard.
I don't think he needs blue in this deck at all.
Probably not. It's only there for this. It's only there for the snow guy, which you don't
And
really.
so he can hard cast his He didn't even need it for this. All he needs is better discard outlets.
Yeah.
Too much blue.
Hey, there you go.
Swamp.
Woohoo!
Those wasted lands.
So now he's just got just grave crawlers. Does Matt have anything to say about it? No? I mean, it actually would be an okay play because it's going to let him. It's going to let him get back his dude. Yeah, he just has too many islands. Yeah, okay. See, what you should have done was cast the carry-on feeder. Because it could have gotten you a good amount of values thus far in this game. Doesn't really do any good in your hand.
And Kyle, if you watch this back, this is why your surgical extraction effect is trash. Because that would have been a good spot for it there. Like when he's targeting something. I mean, I still think it's a horrible move to bring in because, just trying to like negate Snapcaster's. He still gets his full card, and like you're down on cards by playing that.
Yeah, and that's not. You cannot be in that place in this format anymore. And here's a Fury. Doop-a-doop.
Yeah, I saw this one coming.
See that carry-on feeder, man? It actually wouldn't have been able to get killed in this situation. Because really, that's like, so out of the last couple of MH sets, they've printed very specific cards that really enabled some archetypes to come back or be a thing. You know, Affinity had Thought Monitor. Had another good example, and I can't think of it. But for zombies, it's Carry-On Feeder. Like, that was the card that helped zombies be a tribe.
You know what I'm so pissed off about here, John? Is we just saw 2 complete games with all these islands, and I've still not seen a blue card.
Yeah.
Like, are the only blue cards are the ones that you don't even want to cast? Don't cast them. Just don't cast them.
Right.
You could honestly cut those islands for spells at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so that was rough. That was not ideal. We thought it could have been. Yeah. That could have been a good game if Kyle drew swamps. It actually would have been. It would have been a much better game because you would have. The recursive stuff could have been a problem for Matt if Kyle had real tempo. But since he had
dead snow deck doing dead snow things in a while.
No, it's. I think he might tinker with it a good amount. But he's been off of Modern for a minute too. So
Narfi's the card. Is it still in the deck?
I don't know. We didn't see it. We didn't see it. Yeah, Kaito Shizuki should be in there. Some other like draw discard effects.
I'm kind of against any card that has the color blue.
Right. I mean, fair enough. Yeah.
It can't be played from your graveyard without playing blue.
There'd be some wholesale changes that need to happen for that to be a thing. He's got to have more discard outlets or self mill. We didn't see this Stitcher Supplier do anything either, which is a bummer. Which that gets better with the carry-on feeder. Just all in all, it's just the mana. It's just those islands. Because those games would have been entirely different. Yeah. He probably he had powerful enough cards in hand game 1 to maybe get there. He just couldn't cast any of them. He just got by Blood Moon. And then game 2, it could have been a much better game if he could have been playing the things out of his hand and not playing one spell per turn while the blue deck drew everything they needed to draw. So yeah, that was frustrating. Sorry for that, guys. Hopefully Kyle washes back, and we're gonna tell him anyway. He actually doesn't really need to wash back because we're gonna fucking tell him just swap those islands for swamps, and I think you're in way better shape.
Yeah, you could have played like all the cards.
All the cards. All the cards. There's definitely
Still, this deck on second thought doesn't line up very well with what Matt's doing here with the Fury and all that nonsense.
the Fire and Ice I think is worse than the Fury. It depends how he would have played it. Like those selective one damage spells are very crippling for a deck with so many one toughness cards. But I feel like,
you know what I thought the whole time that Kyle really needed in this deck is like, I like going all in on the self mill, making more of a dredge style deck.
sure,
And like taking advantage of the zombies from Shadows over Renistra block, where you bring them back from the grave
yeah,
by
Haunted
pitching-
Dead.
by pitching cards.
Haunted Dead is a fantastic
Haunted Dead, and
zombie.
there was a blue one too.
Yeah, the blue one's fine.
It's a flyer.
Haunted Dead's the best one. Yeah, there's a 3/1 flyer and a 3/4 flyer.
Yeah.
One pitches for 2, or one activates for 2 mana, one activates for 3 mana. No, those cards are fantastic, and those cards would be amazing in his deck. And like Haunted Dead is a solid card. Like
It is a solid card, and like, I feel like he's trying to be a little too fancy with it.
yeah. No, I think so. I think people look at those cards.
You know what I think the problem is? I think Crypt Breaker is kind of a trash card.
It's bad now.
It's
It's
kind
the
of just a trash card.
in the modern format. It is like it's powerful in the vacuum when you just look at what it does and how it's designed. But it's never going to survive. So if the only time it should be a 2 of maybe if you're going to play it,
I don't
because
think you should play it.
I'm just saying
Like,
we're just
it's discard outlets you have to untap with, and they die. To
yeah.
literally everything.
Well, so I'm just talking about the card itself. I'm not
yeah.
necessarily for his deck, but just in general. Like if you're going to play that card in this environment, what you need to be able to do every time you play it is draw a card with it. That's the only saving grace for it. If you think that it's playable, that's what you have to be able to do. And there's no situation ever that's come up where we've seen that happen. So, that being said, it's completely unplayable. Yeah. Like, if you had a deck that just shit out zombie tokens, and he has the thing from Midnight Hunt, whenever a non-token creature dies, you make a decayed zombie. It's a super good pairing with that. He never got that. He could have got that down. And that actually would have been a decent thing in this match because he's just going to it would generate a shit ton of tokens. But he never got it down because of Blood Moon. But yeah, no, Crypt Breaker, you need discard outlets that don't tap, discard outlets that discard out of your hand. Yeah. Now I think for this archetype, there's a match there.
Yeah.
He does not have the right cards for the archetype for it to be a match. And I don't think he prioritized the right cards. Like when the turn that he could have cast the Carrion Feeder, sacked the Gravecrawler, recast the Gravecrawler, got the Prize Amalgam back out, that would have been the play. Because with that sequence, the next turn, if Matt goes to remove it, it's already a 2/2. Now it's a 4/4. When Matt has to remove, he either chooses to dump all the things on that, and if he doesn't, it just becomes a 4/4. Like, that's the card that was really important in this match that he didn't prioritize enough. But he also couldn't because his mana was fucked. So, there is that.
Yeah, like the biggest takeaway was the mana. The mana was bad.
I think that there is a legitimate zombie deck available in the format, but nobody's come close to trying to do it.
I know it's not a mono blue deck.
No, hell no. And it might have blue in it, but no, it's the discard.
It's not playing 3 islands.
No, you'd play
more than 3 islands.
Yeah, you'd play an island, and that's what you would play. And you just if he wants to keep the snow theme, because Narfi is a good lord, and it's one of the better lords. It's a self-recursive lord that you can reanimate at instant speed. It's pretty powerful. He just needs to be playing the right mana base.
Yeah, I don't think it all needs to be snow. Honestly, like you only need 3 snowlands.
Yeah,
play to.
You just need to make sure you can get those 3 snowlands, and it's not hard. And you're gonna do it turn 4. You know, is that when that guy's coming into play? And that's when it matters too, because it's 3 mana. But if you're not guaranteeing you have that many snow permanents, it's gonna.
Cast him, he's a 5 drop.
No, I'm just saying
Yeah.
it makes 3 snow. If you don't have all snow in your deck, then that means you're never going to do it on turn 3 most of the time. So it's a turn.
He's not doing it at all right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
So
I'm just saying it's a turn 4, turn 5 consideration at that point. So what he should be leaning on in those early turns is the Gravecrawler, Carry-On Feeder, Stitcher Supplier, that kind of nonsense. The Narfi should be the closeout. The Narfi should be making them spin their wheels, fucking your shit up, and then after the fact...
Honestly, I don't even know if he still has Narfi in the deck.
Yeah.
Which if he doesn't,
that namesake is not true.
Yeah.
There is no reason for it.
Why are we playing all these basics?
Yeah, yeah.